What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36. Um, Big Games BS Den Media Group coming at you live right now. After FSU's first practice in the spring, giving you a quick no cap recap about what I saw on the first day of practice. As you know, it's here, boom. This is the official, you know, former player thing. I'm not pressed. I'm told I'm not pressed, so like, I'm not in the beat. I'm not a reputable. So take this with what you will. Will I was just there on the sideline, watching and bringing in practice. It was about as good as you could get. High energy. A lot of guys were flying around. A lot of things that were going great as far as what you want to see in the T-shirt Olympics is what we used to call it. But I'm not gonna go as far as saying what I did last year, and the reason why I'm not gonna go as far as I did last year is because when you think about it, I've covered Florida State shit, since the 2017 season. That was my first year. So I went to practice. I went to the first practice every year since 2017. So this is my seventh preseason practice. I mean, yeah, spring practice, I believe. Yeah, and I said last year it was the best spring practice that I've seen in the last 7 years, and then obviously we went on. So, but my expectation level was low. The standard was high, but I also didn't expect to see the things that I saw. And based upon what I had seen the previous spring and the previous season, there were things that I looked for last spring that I just wanted to be able to detail and see if they were different. And that was the size. We had increased in size and we looked like we belong. I was also in athleticism in the skill positions. We had increased. Yeah, I made these huge steps and strides across the board, but we still had some major gaps. Well, going into this spring, looking at what we were able to accomplish in the transfer portal, looking at what we were able to do in bringing guys back, and looking at what we were able to bring in recruiting, my level of expectation and what I was expecting to see was a little bit high. So while I'm not giving as glowing a review as I did last spring, it's still a damn good spring. It's still a damn good practice. Very spirited. There were times when everybody got after it, and it's another spring where I really noticed the incoming freshmen. Last year it was Azariah Thomas, as I joked and said, the kid with the New Testament name, with the Old Testament name. And everybody remembered Travis Hunter, but nobody really talked about him. In terms of our safety, I was able to see TK, not TK Kirkland. TK Kirkland is the comedian. Kirkland from Rains High School in Jacksonville really looked like a guy. And it was just it was good. He's a guy, I believe he was a three-star prospect, but looks like somebody who's ready to step into the role and probably could get some significant playing time. There was also some noticeable guys that were out, like Micah Pittman was out, Robert Scott was out. Trying to think, there was another person that was out that I think would have an impact. But Malcolm Ray and excuse me, Malcolm Ray and somebody else was going too on the defensive side. But um, I hope they get healthy because they need to. There was some major competition going on, but every aspect of it, from the coaches to the players, was a level of intensity that if they can maintain that, there will be a lot of development happening in this spring. And one of those things was, again, one of the most consistent things that I've seen is Mike Norvell and his energy. I've seen Mike 6 a.m. I've seen Mike midday. I've seen Mike mid afternoon. I've seen Mike at night. He is consistently the same type of guy, and that was in there. And he's a guy who's going to be in your face. He's going to yell at you. He's going to cuss at you. He's going to coach you. It's not just for the sake of yelling. It's for the sake of understanding the standard. One of his sayings is, "How you do anything is how you do everything." So what he's doing is making sure these guys know that he's in control and that he's watching everything to make sure that they live up to the potential that they say. Mickey Andrews used to have a thing where he would tell you, "I'm not cussing you out because I don't like you. I asked you specific questions when I was recruiting you. You told me you wanted to be great. And I'm just holding you accountable to the greatness of what you said you aspired to be. And that's kind of what Mike Norvell is doing when it comes to this practice. But it's contagious. Everybody else was doing it. You saw guys being fiery. You saw like even Dugans and Coach Yak, who are normally kind of chill, cool, more subdued type coaches, being a little bit more intense than they would normally be. But Odell looked spry. He was running around, jogging, yelling. When I was coming in the gate, I came to practice a little bit late. First thing I did was hear Odell yelling over the fence about, telling guys to be able to do what they need to do, coaching up technique, trying to get in their faces. You saw Jeff Papuchis. He was doing his thing. I'm going to talk about each position group and some of the guys that I thought stood out as well as I go on with this. Tony Tokarts did his thing. I mean, it's a lot of energy, a lot of running around. And it was cool to see that in the face of recruits. Shout out to nephew, little Antonio Cromartie Jr. I was with senior all last week, so it was cool to see. I left senior on Saturday, and I saw junior on Monday, 2 days later, so that was cool. He FaceTimed me while he was at practice as well. Kez McCorvey was a former player that was there. I think it was just me and Kez today. It might have been somebody else, but I think it was just us two. A lot of in a decent amount of recruits for a Monday practice. I know Wednesday we'll have. I think I have some of my Mandarin guys got to be over there. I'm not coming back to Wednesday, but I'll give y'all. I have eyes that y'all won't be able to have because you know what? You're not gonna tell my kids not to tell Coach James what to do because you want to get them recruited. So I know the beat's not gonna like that, but fuck them. You could coach. Just like I told Jeff Cup when the beat complains about me. People got to remember, I walked on to Florida State to become a starter and to get a full scholarship. Everybody on the beat could have done the exact same thing that I did. That's why I have no sympathy for them. I scored in both those end zones. I bled and I sweat on that field. So if I get a little bit of extra benefit every now and then, that's God's will. But let's just talk about everybody's done their spring practice reviews, but here's the big game previews based upon 1 day of practice. And we'll go with the quarterbacks off first. The quarterbacks obviously are led by Jordan Travis, who every day looks to be more and more of a quarterback. Jay Trav looked fucking great today. As good as you can be in shorts, balls on the money, going through his reads, great footwork, great poise in the pocket. He is getting more and more comfortable in the pocket, and for some of us who are so impatient and love the athleticism and the burst that is him, it is fucking nerve-wracking because I just want him to run sometimes. But I also understand. I believe, though, that for us to go as far as we need to go, we have to have Jordan Travis begin to have trust in his legs again. So that's my take on Jay Trav. I'll say this. A lot of questions were asked. Who is looked like to be number two? I know this is going to come as a shock to everybody, but the insurance salesman, I think he could, or coach, I think we can keep him around a little bit more. Tate Rodemaker actually looked really, really good. Still looks like he needs to go see a training table and eat some more food. But, I mean, in terms of command of the offense and understanding where things go, he has a little bit more confidence than Duffy, who's getting better, and you can see the flashes as well as with Brock. Brock made a couple good plays, but mainly it's clearly Jay Trav, then a few notches down, Tate Rodemaker, then a notch or two below that is Duffy, and then below that is Glenn. I think Tony Tokarts, for the first time in quite some time, has talent to be able to work with. I also think, if we have Luke Cromenhawk in this 2024 class, who's going to skyrocket, I believe, to be a 5-star when it's all said and done. And you've got, these other guys, I think next spring should speak volumes for what's going to happen. The running back room, we saw Trey Benson, Lawrence Toafili both have green jerseys on, which I'm assuming that means limited contact, limited interaction. We know what these guys can do. We don't really need to see a ton of them, but what we need and who needs the reps would be your Rodney Hills, your Keziah Holmes, and your CJ. What's CJ's last name? CJ Campbell's. You need those guys to be able to continue to get the reps, continue to get those things. Keziah Holmes, and a lot of people were worried about would there be a drop off losing Trayshawn Ward. One thing that Trayshawn Ward had was an elite vision. Now his speed was lacking, but he was able to see holes as before they developed. And I kind of saw that a little bit with Keziah Holmes, except for he has another burst in gear that Trayshawn Ward didn't have, which is kind of crazy. So if you get a combo of both him and Trey Benson, I think that's going to lead you into something bigger. And with Keziah Holmes having more time left, and you're bringing on Rodney Hill is going to get better. You're bringing on CJ Campbell is going to get better. You just need to make sure you hit somebody in this recruiting class. Whereas a lot of people are worried about what happens if we lose Cam Davis, which I hope we don't lose Cam Davis in recruiting. But at the end of the day, if this is what your running back room looks like, this is what your offensive line looks like, and you're consistently getting better in the receiving core, you can build your own BYOB, build your own back. That's what we're gonna say. BYOB is YAC. YAC is a BYOB. Yak can build your own back. Yak, build your own back. That's what we're going to say when it comes to what Florida State's doing in the backfield. Wide receiver room, we know what Johnny Wilson can do. Michael wasn't working out. You saw what's Megamon? Douglas is Megamon's last name. Um, really, five. If Deuce Man can ever figure it out, he's going to be a fucking menace on the football field. He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the hands. It's just he's got to be able to put it all together. Number 21, you can see where he's going to be if he can stay healthy. He's got good speed, good size, good radius. I want to say shout out to Winston Wright. Winston Wright is moving around like a guy who didn't break his leg. I really enjoy watching him. I had to pound him up, tell him that it's very encouraging to see him out there doing his thing. And the two freshmen, both had times where they did some things. Jacobs is explosive as all get out. He's a runner. King Williams, once he gets used to the pace of practice and what's demanded of him, I think he's going to become a weapon. But right now, it's about getting in shape. Offensive line, I got some pictures that I'm going to post up. But yeah, Keandre Jones, I believe that's his name. All right, here's what I want everybody to do. Just listen to this. Hopefully you have, YouTube Red or whatever, and you can go on your internet browser and you can still listen to it. What I want you to do is go look up Tukey Williams. And when he had when he did the bodybuilding contest and he had the fro. Now Jones has dreads, but how thick Tukey Williams is, that's how thick fucking Keandre Jones is. The first thing I thought about was, Buddy been in the pen pumping iron. That's the first thing I thought. Master P reference right there. He's so big that Roddick, or the kid from Colorado, who's also big, looks small. So again, we're getting larger in the trenches. Robert Scott was out, but you saw guys like it was a Charlton, lost a lot of weight. You're seeing guys looking big in there. Maurice Smith is being able, to maintain the size. And one of the things we have now that we haven't had in quite some time is some depth, and that's important. Being healthy and having depth are going to be the keys to Florida State being able to achieve its full position. Full potential. You want to make sure you stay healthy during the spring. You want to make sure you consistently have protection and competition, but to have the same five be able to go out consistently week after week at Florida State would be good. So those are the guys who stood out. Now, I'm telling you, you have to bounce around those 24 periods. I wasn't just sitting with one group following them the entire time. Now, going to the defensive side of the ball, we're going to go with defensive ends. Boots, as a freshman, looked good. He was. I think he got 2 sacks today. Very explosive, very low bend. I'm not saying Boots is going to come in and take somebody's job. I'm saying Boots is doing a damn thing. So congratulations, good for Boots, good for Pops, making sure that he was prepared and working out. Obviously, Jared Verse is Jared Verse. Derek McMillan, D-Mac was very aggressive today. Hopefully he can, if anybody needs another gear and needs to cut it on, it's D-Mac, because this is the year D-Mac's got to be able to do his damn thing. On the interior, Daryl Jackson, holy shit. That's a motherfucker. So like he literally jacked somebody up and took their lunch money today to close out one-on-one drills with O-line and D-line. So if he's able to consistently do that, then man, we're gonna have a guy that's gonna call. We're gonna have a hell of a five defensive line. So I can see why Odell's gonna be as excited. So hopefully Fabian or Fabo can be as healthy as he can. Farmer looked good today too. Guys just getting big in there, man. Guys doing very, very well. I hope they continue to grow and dominate. Linebacker, shout out to DJ Lundy, looking more svelte, getting in better shape, more athletic. D'Lo, little bro, I swear, like little bro got a chest now. I thought he had on shoulder pads for some reason at practice today, and but he didn't. He's just looking buff. Shout out to Storms. Um, it still has to get better. Not great in pass coverage. You got, I think, Bethune and Omar Graham Jr. can still get better in that. But that's where you need the front four to be able to do the damn thing. You got to be able to cover. But like the secondary actually did very, very good today. But the secondary could be the fails of the tight ends getting off. It'd be a combination between the safeties and the linebackers. But when you looked at what Greedy Vance was able to do, Greedy is if Greedy can get in that, if Greedy can gain some weight, man, Greedy gonna be able to get a couple checks on the next level. That's how good he was playing. Jerry and Jones, I think once he gets comfortable in his playing style, he's going to be better. Malcolm, number 8, I can't remember his name. Number 8 got a pick, I believe, if I remember correctly, is doing his thing. Azariah Jones from out of Mississippi, I think he's number 16. There's another corner that stood out that looked good. And one of the guys that everybody's been talking about is Travis J. And Travis J had flashes today where he looked like, okay, this is going to be the guy. I think Travis J's thing is going to be the confidence of realizing that you can do this at a high level, and we need you to do this at a high level. Not just sometimes, it's an every time thing. So, I know there's some guys that I missed. Oh, Cypress actually had moments where he looked pretty good. We just got to get him a little stronger, a little bigger, in my opinion. But it was the first day, so guys were split up, getting reps, moving around, doing things. I'm very interested to see how this all plays out. But I'll tell you this much: there is nothing that I saw today that will move me off of my prediction of 10-2 as the floor, 12-0 with a playoff berth as the ceiling. And that's kind of basically it, man. Great first day. Again, a lot of people were in the mountaintops when they were talking to you about the game and the practices. I was there in the trenches, man. So appreciate everybody chopping it up. Please like, share, or like, share, and comment on the rebroadcast. Spring game tailgate, April 15th. We're gonna also have a night before type of thing. But the link, I'll make sure I put the link in the description. And please, if you haven't done this already, like and subscribe to the channel. We're looking to once we get to 2,000 followers, we will give away $200 live on my show Big Games BS, and also go to @BigGameJames_36 on YouTube. Once that page gets to over 1,000 followers, we'll add content, and we'll also give $100 live on the air on Big Games BS. As always, appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. Your go-to source for all things Seminole. Be blessed.